Hello guys, welcome back to World of Tanks Reviews with Swift Nexus 9. Today we'll be looking at the marvellous, amazing, spectacular Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Lowe, the Loin, whatever you want to call it. This is truly a beast of the battlefield, one of the best Tier 8 Premiums you can get your hands on, but you do have to pay for it, 12,500 gold. In this replay we'll have a slightly different format. This review, I'll be showing you a replay and stopping at certain intervals to show you the different stats of the guns, the armour, everything. Okay, this is the first time I've been on the map Stalingrad. I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing. I just see a nice little road. It looks like a nice funny little shape and I decided to go over there. Now in a second you'll see a demonstration of how fast this gun aims and how accurate it is at reasonably long distances. Let's just point my camera around there. I just swing my gun round, he's trying to escape, boom, another one bites the dust. Let's pause it right there. And, oh dear, come in, move down. Now let's take a little look at the gun stats of this tank. There you go. Rate of fire 5.2 rounds a minute. Reload time 11 seconds. Maximum ammo capacity 80 rounds. Accuracy 0.31 at 100 meters, which is very good, especially because the aiming reticle on this tank goes very tiny. You can aim for weak spots with ease. I'll get to the ammo in a second. And aim time 2.7 seconds, which is pretty good, especially because the reticle doesn't actually disperse that much. It's not very big to start with. Okay, and aiming circle spread 2.8, which is what I was just talking about. On turret traverse, doesn't matter about that while gun is damaged. -2, okay, that doesn't matter either really. Elevation 38, which is amazing. This gun goes up forever. Wait, can I demonstrate that on here? I think I can. Yeah, that's how far the gun literally goes up. It's insane. I don't think any other gun in the game goes like that, unless it's an artillery piece. And it also has pretty good depression as well. Look at that. They did increase it after the update, which was a few months ago. They buffed this beast, which is when I actually asked to have it back from Wargaming. I sold it, and thankfully I hadn't ever asked for any other premium tanks back, on which I accidentally sold. Well, I didn't accidentally sell this, I did purposely sell this because I just didn't like it. But they buffed it, and when I got it back I was very happy with it. Especially after the elevation and depression buff. And they added a nice generous 20 extra millimeters of armor after the buff. Which is nice. Not that it makes much difference, you don't bounce much stuff off the hull. But the turret, on the other hand, is a slightly different story. I'll get back to that in a second. We're actually meant to be looking at the gun. Okay, yeah, the penetration 334. No, that's the damage. 320 damage, 234 penetration with normal ammunition. 320 damage with APCR with 294 penetration. And 60 penetration with high explosive, 420 damage. Okay, yeah, 234 penetration might not seem like much, but as I was mentioning, this reticle goes so tiny and it's so accurate, you can aim for weak spots on any tank really, and it's pretty high up. You can hit cupolas pretty easily as well. You very rarely ever have to use normal ammunition, which is a very big bonus when you're using a premium tank, because you try to save as much money as you can to get a bigger overall cash sum at the end. Okay, let's continue with the replay. I'm trying to think of a better way of doing this, but that's the best way I can find getting back to the replay. Here we go. Now right here there's AMX M445, and he manages to penetrate the front of my turret, which I was quite surprised about, but I saw where. He manages to hit just underneath there, the gun mantlet, sorry, which is one of the few weak spots on this turret. I just fire clutch there and miss, so he retreated. And let's see, I'm just going to bash up this poor little IS-2. There we go. I penetrate him in pretty much the same place where I was penetrated, but yeah, as you saw, that gun reticle goes very nice and tiny. There's a bit of action there. Tiger 2. Right, let's put it back to the camera which I used in the game. There we go. I couldn't see where I was shooting there. Managed to hit its front armor plate. I'm playing it safe here, hiding behind the house when I shoot. But at least I can cover both sides of the house. Here we go. They've got a bone to pick. Got my revenge on that AMX. I probably didn't need to play it as safe as I did here, but from here I could cover both sides of the house. And there you saw how accurate it was. Wasn't very long distance, but I still managed to shoot through that little tiny gap. Yeah, I was trying to shoot the IS-2 there, but I missed. But you can't complain about missing when you kill someone else, so never mind. I'm looking at my mini-map, and I'm sort of thinking the other side's doing fine, but then I notice they are killing off the rest of our guys over there, so I'm just trying to pace these guys over and head over there and mop up the game. Here we go. That was a pretty unlucky bounce right there. Well, that's French armor, I guess. It bounces when you shoot it, but when you're inside it, it penetrates every time. There you go. Finished him off. Wasn't actually paying any attention to the amount of kills I had. I managed to set him on fire, which was a nice little bonus. Now, just in a second, you're going to see one of the big negativities of this mighty beast. Its maneuverability, or mobility, as you might say. It is not very maneuverable at all. It's one of its big downsides. It does turn, well, it turns pretty badly, to be honest. And the engine power is not that great, which I'll just show you right now and show you a little look. The mobility and the engine power and all that stuff. If the game will pause. Let's see. Let's go back to the tank inspector. Sure, there's a better way of doing this. Right, here we go. Whoops. Right, engine power. 800 horsepower. Specific power, 8.89 horsepower per ton, which is not good. Chance fire 20%, health 260 hit points of the engine. So you know, it does set on fire reasonably easily with tier 8. Anything higher shoots you in the back, you do set on fire. Okay, let's take a look at that other thing. Mobility. Chassis traverse speed 24 degrees a second, which is not that great. Forward 35 kph for going forwards, 15 going back. 35 is reasonably fast. It does not usually hit 35 unless you're going down a hill. But if you do go down a hill at 35 and you ram into something, they will feel it, I promise you. Unless it's a mouse or an E100. Something like that. Okay. It's not very good terrain resistance. Well, what's all this other stuff? Never mind. Okay. What else? Let's show you the view range, shall we? They're 400 meters, which is very nice. That's one of the big selling points of this tank. It's great gun and 400 meter view range. So this does make a perfect sniper. I'll talk about who would probably buy this tank in a minute. 740 signal range, nothing you can complain about there. Camouflage values, you know, they don't seem to make much sense to most people, so I won't tell you all of them. Okay, let's get back to the game, shall we? Oh wait, no, let's take a look at the tracks. Max load speed, 99.850 tons. No, that's not right. Okay. Made me sound stupid. Right, here we go. Back to World of Tanks. Whew, must be a better way. Move down. Back to the replay. I wasn't sure how the game was going, but then I see we're easily going to win this. Clutch fire on that guy, and there was a tiny bit of lag there. So I just hit his track. I was trying to ram him. Crusader took my track off and I just repaired it because I wanted to ram him, but that was a bit of a waste of a repair kit. Never mind. I was not watching the kill count, as I said, so I didn't know I already had 5 and this was going to be my top gun if I got this kill, but I just went about it anyway. As you can see, it killed my engine, and this is, I have to say, one of the worst tanks at tier 8 you would want your engine being knocked out at. It is awful. Except T28, something like that. They're awful with your engine knocked out, but this is very horrible. That's why sometimes it is best to just sit back and snipe, especially on the open maps of this tank. This is not necessarily a very good tank for people with very aggressive playstyles who like medium tanks or any of that kind of stuff. It's not for them at all. If you want something like that, I'll review my other tier 8 premium tanks, either the T34, the KB5 or the Jag Tiger 88. They might prefer one of them or the IS6, but I have not got that, so I can't review that for you. That is a very good aggressive tier 8 premium with what I've been told and what I've learnt about it. But this is a very good tank for people who enjoy tank destroyers. It is reasonably slow and it's got very good gun, very good view range, as I said, and very accurate, so you can sit in a bush with your camo, with your binocs, and shoot people till your heart's content and they will just not see you. Its camo values are not great, but then again, if you've got much better view range than the people you're hunting, you can kill them before they see you, especially on the open maps. Okay, let's go back to Tank Inspector just to wrap up this replay. Okay, let's go up. Here we go. So, you might be thinking, yeah, should I spend that £40 on this tank or more? Well, as I said when I bought it, I did regret it a little bit. I went and sold it, but I got it back a while ago and I do enjoy it. It is a nice little reliable, good bit of German engineering. Gets the job done. Very nice, accurate German gun, like you would expect from a tank like the Tiger 2 or the Tiger. Very nice, accurate gun. It's tier 9 gun, which is, you know, not bad for a tier 8. Unlike the KB5's gun, which I'll be reviewing in another review video. Let's take a quick look at the armor module, because I just forgot to do that. Okay, here we go. It's not necessarily great on paper. I've got to say it isn't, sadly, the best armor on the hull anyway. There, I don't really like this cully thing. There, that is not thick. It's 120 on paper. As you can see there, straight on, yeah, that is 120. Lower plate, when you're level, let's get that. When you're straight on in front of it, that plate is 160 mil. There's a tiny weak spot which is 30mm thinner, but that doesn't really matter. That is basically 160, 170 flat straight on. And the lower plate 150, 160. The front beak 120. So if you're on a low pen tank and you're trying to penetrate it from the front, one of the best places to shoot it is just the flat beak there. But the turret is pretty nice from the front. There. Wait, let's turn this thing back on again. As you can see around there, 120 at the bottom, which is a very bad weak spot, to be honest. Wait, let's turn it back on again. Let's get that gun back down. If someone shoots you there, that can quite easily bounce off there, shoot down into the top of the tank, which is very thin. It's another thing, this is vulnerable to artillery. That's another reason why you should sit back and camp. But quite a few people will hate you for it. But never mind if you get the job done and you're not a noob. Okay, from the front, I said the weak spot there. And the weak spot on the turret, as you saw where that AMX at the beginning shot me, just in that nice little lip thing underneath the gun mantlet. You could try shooting the bottom of the gun mantlet on purpose, just to try and ricochet it into the top of the tank. That'd be a sneaky way to kill one of the crew or something like that. But apart from that, the turret is pretty strong. You can try aiming for these little cheeks there, not beaks. But they are pretty strong, and you will never get through that gun mantlet. Never had anyone get through there, to be honest, unless it's at a flat angle like this. Not from the front, but sadly the front of the turret is the only bit which has any armour. And sadly the front of the tank is the only bit that has any armour except from the tracks. Apart from, not except from. When you go side scraping, if they decide to shoot your tracks, you will have a very successful time. You will not get through those tracks easily at all. Nearly ain't any angle you angle your tank at, except like this, you can penetrate it there very easily. So if you are facing off against someone on flat ground, just twist yourself around like that. Hopefully they'll shoot that half of you, and that is pretty thick, or they'll shoot your tracks. These tracks are massive, to be honest. Anyway, sides 80, back 90, 100, that does prevent people shooting high explosive into the back of you, but sadly artillery will have a nice time landing shots right there, right on, well, not on there, that's too thick for them, but right there, artillery will slice through that like a hot knife through butter. That's the right way of saying it. Well, anyway, that was a bit of a long wrap up. I do recommend this tank for anyone who likes tank destroyers and careful playstyle. This is a brilliant tank for people who have careful playstyles. This is not great for people who just say like, you only live once, let's go and kill those pests. It does not live very long when you do that. It's great for people who like to sit back, play the game carefully and precisely. This will not let you down. The gun will not let you down, and the armour, well, if you know what it can take, it won't let you down. So that is my video review of the Tier 8 Lowe Premium Heavy Tank. Hope you liked it, and thumbs up, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. See you next time. Goodbye. Ooh, let's press